Hello, everyone. It is Monday, December the 6th. So close to us to have downtime for us Christmas vacationers, right? So, hey, as you guys know, I am the founder and CEO of AHA Interpreting Solutions. I wanted to come on today to give back a little bit to the community, as well as anyone who is interested in just kind of listening to some of the things that I learned reading and being able to mentor and participate in what we call Latinos Immigrant Guide to Starting Up a Business in Arkansas. Don't let the name fool you just because it says Latino immigrants. It's all about starting a business and not necessarily just in Arkansas, anywhere. So if you know of any entrepreneur, send them this link, hook them up with this information. It's some really good stuff as well. So let's get started. But before I get started, I would be wrong if I didn't share a little history about this book. This book was sponsored by the University of Arkansas's Division of Agricultural, USDA, the Department of Agriculture folks. They submitted some funding, received a grant, had several people participate in the making of this handbook. So I want to give out a special thanks out to the researchers, Dr. Frank Farmer, Dr. Soy Lamoon of University of Arkansas, a couple other folks from the University of Arkansas, Corporation Extension Services, Dr. Christina Abreu, Dr. Wayne Miller, and Stacy McCulloch. As well. This book was published in 2019, and their grant was given to them in 2008 as well. So I thank all of those folks for putting this all together as well. A couple of acknowledgments to Courtney Backus, who was a director of special events at the workforce at the Rogers Lowell Chamber of Commerce. Excuse me, you guys, it's 2:00. Vilma Dominguez, Diversity Coordinator, and Stephen Ferguson and Rudy Ortiz. All of these individuals participated in some way, some form on getting this beautiful book together. And now it has landed in my hands. I participated with the Chamber of Commerce and many of these folks that I mentioned. We used to do workshops in Rogers. We had entrepreneurs, individuals who really didn't even realize they were entrepreneurs coming just to get some basic information on how to start a business. But what they didn't realize that they were gaining actually more than just being able just to answer basic questions. They had someone like myself who had business knowledge. With the support of other professionals in the room, we were able to walk through this whole workbook as well. So I'm not planning to walk through the whole workbook today, but as I promised the person that who gifted me boxes of these workbooks in English and in Spanish, that I would make sure that I would do good. I sent out some emails a couple weeks ago letting individuals know that I had it. I've always learned just to sit for a little bit and things don't come, you got to go and get them. So here I am giving back to the community, or for those that I want to listen. If at the end of the day you like what you hear, if you need me to come face to face, we'll talk about it. If you need a workbook, email me, go on my webpage at www.ahaworkforce.com. Connect with me. I'll be more than happy to get with you and talk a little bit more. But this session here is all about you and those who want to listen, and my passion to give back to the community. And so enough of me. So here we go. So the survey results on how the Latinos' biggest obstacles is obtaining enough money to start their businesses. We all know that Latinos have a lot of obstacles, right? But it's not just about the Latinos anymore. We have so many diverse communities out there, so many big people out there coming out with awesome new businesses and ideas, and sometimes you just can't get them off the ground, or maybe you're not the right person to get them off the ground. This book here will get you where you need to go, and at least get you your aha moment and make you realize that maybe this wasn't a good idea, or maybe this is such a great idea that I'm ready to rock and roll, right? So we're going to start out with simple step 1. There's 10 chapters, as I mentioned, with different work pages, workbooks that we'll go through. I'll read read them. We can't have an open discussion, but we'll definitely all discuss them. And hopefully you guys will send me an email or text or just connect with me if you guys have any further questions. All right. So we're going to start with step 1, which is chapter 1, assessing your business potentials. Look at all the fun that we'll have. Step 2, defining your business ideas. Step 3, determining your feasibility of your business ideas. Step 4, schedule your professional business advisors. Step 5, choose your business legal structure, right? Are you an LLC? Are you, a liability? What are your sole proprietor? These are all questions you need to know as well. If you don't know them, you need to definitely know them. Select your business location. Are you going to be home-based? Are you going to be in a warehouse? Are you going to be in a building? Are you retail? Are you going to partner up and work in a community environment? Develop your business financial system. Very, very important. If you don't have a solid financial plan, it can definitely become a little bit hairy and rocky as you move forward. Write your business plan, business. How many of you heard, start a business plan, get a business plan, do you have a business plan? This part used to stress me out so much. I really think internally it kept me from even putting my foot forward. But when I figured out exactly what a business plan was supposed to be, that it was meant for you and not for some fancy person of a 500 Fortune company to come tell you that you missed to cross your T's or dot your I's. It's more for you to know where your business is going with a timetable. So if you need to know what your business is going to do in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, up to a year, do it. Do not let back and say, oh, I got it all in my mind, because it's good for you to kind of see and say, hey, I thought that the cost was going to be this versus, oh, wow, the cost is this. Or I thought we were going to hit 100,000 last year. Well, guess what? We only hit 80,000. Well, why? Let's go back in our business plan and see what we need to do different as well. So it's always good to have a paper trail in anything you do in business as well. And just put it away. If you don't need it, that's fine. But eventually it's good to have something to go back on. Understanding regulatory requirements, basic standards, laws, and policies. You want to be the one. You don't want to be the one out there doing things supposedly the right way when really not doing the things the best that you can. We're not perfect. Sometimes we miss deadlines. Sometimes we don't realize things have changed, and that's okay. You just need to wipe yourself off and keep on pushing and make sure that you seek for the best compliancy in your business. And step 10, obtaining financial assistance. Woo, wow. If only that was just such an easy matter to do. All of us have reasons why and how come we don't want to necessarily seek for financial assistance. A lot of entrepreneurs or small businesses applied for PP loans during COVID and were denied. Some of them were because of credit, personal issues. This book tells you about credit and asks you some specific questions that you should know as well. So overall, this is all great. I've been an entrepreneur now for 8 years. I am self-maintained and 100% funded by myself, which is not an easy thing to maintain as well. I definitely have had some up and downs, but I am here today to let you know that it definitely can be done. So hang on in there as we go through this one chapter. And I hope that you guys learn something, as I always like to learn something as I review things myself. All right, personality assessment. Woo! All of us don't have the super personality where we can talk to everyone and say, hey, my name is, who are you? What do you like? What don't you like, right? All of us are not natural leaders. That's okay. Basically, assessment. You're going to answer yes or no to these basic questions. I'm going to read them through as you go question and maybe answer them in your mind or in a notebook. So, am I a leader? Yes or no? It's okay if you answer no. It's okay if you answer yes. This is your workbook, not anyone else's. Marianne, Joe, Suzanne, who's next to you or on this webpage or looking at this video. I hope that we all have different answers. I can make decisions, yes or no. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's okay. We need to be honest with ourselves. This is about you, not about your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, or even your husband. If you're the one that's going to be behind the face of your business, these are all deep down soul questions you need to ask yourself. Am I independent? I set goals and accomplish them? Yes or no? I plan ahead? Yes or no? Not all of us plan ahead, but it's how you plan is what makes a difference. I get along well with others. Like I said, not all of us wake up with rainbows and butterflies and unicorns every morning. Some of us, like myself, know better that I need to have some coffee before I even get in front of anyone. So what does that mean? That means if I have a meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning, I must get up about 5 o'clock in the morning, once because I'm a little bit older and my bones don't work as fast. But two, I need to get that caffeine going and make my blood start going so I can be the happy person with unicorns and butterflies when you see me. Let's see. Am I flexibility? Are you flexible? Are you confident? Am I responsible? Sorry, I kind of went out the way there. I know my limits and respect them. Financially and time management, yes or no? Time management, multitasking will be one of your most skills that you will utilize being an entrepreneur. If you do not know how to multitask, I would advise you to step back and work on that skill before you jump in. Because being an entrepreneur, you definitely have to be a true multitasker. I am on time for events, yes or no? If you're not the one that are on time, that means that you're going to have someone that works for you that is there on time. If the meetings say they're going to start at 9 o'clock, then you need to be there at 9 o'clock, not 9:30, not 9:45. Of course, things always happen, a flat tire, you get sick and you try to make it. That's understandable, but you don't want to be the one to know that, oh yeah, oh, I know she's going to come, just let's give her 5 minutes. She always comes in late. No, no, no. We always want to make sure that we are there on time. I meet project deadlines. Do you meet project deadlines? Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that, hey, you can wake up at 9 o'clock and turn on my services. I can get up at 11 o'clock. It's okay. I don't have to worry about when I turn it in. I'll accept a contract. Oh, they know I'm good. I'll just turn it in whenever I'm ready. No, no, no. It's all about deadlines. When's a project's due? When it's not due? When do you have to pay your webpage bill? Because we all need to be online, right? If we're entrepreneurs. I can recognize other people's skill and talent. Yes or no? Not everyone is good at this, nor are you expected to be. This comes with a lot of experience on being able to be around people, having experience in different business socials, having a little bit background in social services and even psychiatrists as well. So there's a lot of things that go into these people skills, but the basic people skills, when you get that funny feeling in your gut, listen, trust me, you need to listen. I am goal oriented. What is your goal? Is your goal to make the money, or is your goal to broaden your community? Is your goal to sell 5 t-shirts, or is it to sell a dozen? Is it a goal just to have minimal resources coming in, or to be able to do whatever it is that you want to not have to worry about how you're going to pay your bills? So all your goals are you. Are you goal oriented? Can you put a goal and hit that goal? If you have a client and your client says, hey, I need to make sure we got 200 people ready to go, can you meet their goal? I am persistent. Woo-wee, persistent, persistent. That's the name of the game. Sometimes it's either going to be yes or no. And once again, it is okay, yes or no. The good thing is, like you see, you can get training and advice to improve all these areas. Don't give up just because you might have a whole bunch of no's and a whole bunch of yeses. I hope that's a little bit scattered around as well. If you're a true entrepreneur, it should be scattered around. We're not all perfect. Those that come with skills and experience, maybe I can understand them all being either yes or no on one end or the other. But other than that, I hope that you guys are staying true to yourselves when it comes to personal assessments. Because if you're not responsible, then you know that you can't be the one managing the contract or the project. You can't be, if you're not flexible, that means that you know you need someone to come and open the door, who can go to the meetings at 6 in the morning, 10 in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the evening to go network at different networking events, or can get up early and have that coffee networking without having to have any coffee. So these are things that you have to truly consider when it is that you're going to take on this role. And sometimes, honestly, you don't know that you're not good at this until it happens. But at least with this book, you know, and you'll be prepared. So when, if things do happen, the impact won't be so huge on you. All right, moving on. skills assessment. What skills do we have here? All right, same instructions, yes or no. I know what skills you need to run my business. If you're here today, I would hope that you have some sense, but I hope that this hopefully adds on to more of your skills that you know that you're going to need to have. I have experience working in this industry in which I want to start a business. It could be yes or no. Some people don't have experience in the area that they love and have passion because they've never been able to step forward to start working in their dreams, or even really thought that they even could, or even want to start their own business as well. So you might not have experience, but you do have a passion and a dream. And maybe you don't think you have experience, but somewhere down your journey, I'm sure if you dig deep enough, that experience you have had in the area of your passion. I can use a computer. Some of us are not the greatest computers persons. I know this for a fact. When COVID hit, we had to refocus again on becoming a mobile online virtual service as well. The good thing about for me was that when we created our programs in our education, we knew we would eventually be able to offer them virtual. So the conversion wasn't the hard part. But what I found out, and not just myself, but by talking to other business peers, is that when it came to starting to use Zoom, Google Workbook, Google Classroom, Google Meetings, all these different platforms, all of that kind of became a little bit scary. So not necessarily being able to cut the computer on and type and send an email, but all those new apps that came with the computer uses became a little bit scary. So that's okay. Yes or no is fine. You have an email address. Emails are good. You should have a personal, you should have a private email as well, and you should have a business email. So you should at least have 2 to 3 emails. Definitely hard to manage as well, but you have different services that can help you manage your email. So business and personal email should be 2 that you should have. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. Maybe it's just not that right time for you to establish your business email as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about the importance of why not to start too early on certain things. I have hired employees. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to hire help. Most of our entrepreneurs are contract entrepreneurs, just like myself or anyone else. So for instance, if I have a project that I know I am not an expert in all domains of field, I am a great project manager and I can basically put just about anything, project, education, curriculum together, but I always seek the best experienced people to become my mentors, to assist me, to become my eyes at the end of the day. So yes, as an entrepreneur business, you will eventually have to hire someone either on your payroll, paying them, taking taxes, or a contractor as well. And if you're not the best one to do the hiring because you think everyone is butterflies and unicorns, then maybe that's not the role for you. Have you fired employees? Oh, whew, this is probably the least area that I do not like about being a business owner. HR, management, I give you most respect to all of those HR folks out there that have to do the firing and keep on pushing. It just gets to me each time. It doesn't matter for what reason or not. I believe in always giving everyone 150% of chances, but at a certain time, sometimes they just do not succeed, and there will be a point of time where you have to fire someone. So if you're not the one because you're too emotional and you bond too quickly, then the hiring and firing human resource area might not be your cup of tea, as well as have you ever supervised an employee? Those 3 questions right there might necessarily tell you you might not be cut out for the human resource part of the entrepreneur, which is okay. You just have to find someone that can help you. Nowadays, you can buy and actually have a human resource assistant, administrator, all online for a couple of bucks a month who can take care of all of this. There's a lot of recruiters out there independent now that are working, that have been creative, created their own services. So never fear if you're not a human resource guru. You don't have to be, but definitely you need to know the basics about human resources, because you as an entrepreneur want to make sure that you're not just the owner, but that you know exactly what is going on in your business at all times. I have trained employees. The good thing about it, yes or no, you don't have to be a training person. There's so many different organizations out there, free web pages, free training online. I'm sure that if you are living and working in your passion or thinking about diving in, then there has to be other people that you are hopefully close to that can advise you and help you when it comes to training as well. I tend to not try to pay for my training unless it's college courses that I'm just needing, because I feel like I have a little gap of knowledge and I need to close that gap as well. But a lot of trainings now come on webinars. You just need to look in a little bit deeper as well. If there's something in that area you need help on, once again, let me know and I'll try to point you in the right direction as well. I can create the follow monthly or yearly budgets. Those are definitely hard to do, but if you know what it is that your product is, which is another lesson in this book, you need to know what your product is, what the cost is, what you're shipping, where you're going to have people packing it, how far is it for you to drive. All of these things that are needing together if you're definitely going to create a service where you need to know your yearly budget as well. Also for services, you need to know that because it takes money to do marketing. It takes money to print flyers. It takes money to go to those big or even small expos that they have. Even at a community event, you have to buy bags of candy. You need to buy trinkets. How far is it? Are you going to have to get a hotel? Is it worth me spending $225 membership plus $150 to set up a booth? So there's a lot of things in your monthly budget. Are you working from home? Even though you think your costs are minimal, you still have web pages, you still have chair. Maybe your chair, you need to upgrade your chair. Maybe your background is not something that you're good at doing as well. You need clothes to be online, you need makeup. So all of these things are considered what your yearly budget, and you need to really dig in and be honest with yourself. Even those little things, if you're going to own an office, the garbage bag, the coffee maker, the creamer, different things of that nature. Your lunch during the year, how many meetings can you afford to take a client out? Can you even afford to give anyone a Christmas present this year? So these are all good to have a yearly and even a monthly plan as well. I can establish and maintain a bookkeeping, record keeping system. There's a lot of different programs out there. If you're not the one, if you already go to the store and you get a receipt, and by the time you walk in your house, your receipt is no longer in your eyesight because it's disappeared, then bookkeeping and record keeping systems are going to be the way for you to go. Don't think that you'll be able to manage all that by yourself. The easier, the smoother services that you can get. If you have a bookkeeper where you can just put all your receipts in a shoebox and take it to them, great. But nowadays they have scanners that if you keep all your receipts and just scan them, they will actually scan them for you as well. They have a lot of computer programs out there that you can just type in what you need, and it actually keeps all kind of records for you. And if you are just a true starter, which I understand, and hats off to you. Excel, Excel, Excel. Excel will keep your bookkeeping together as long as you type it in there. Doesn't have to be nothing fancy, but it's your bookkeeping, and you need to know how much and where it's coming from and where it went to. It's for your sanity, and it's for the sanity of your bookkeeper as well at the end of the year. All right, I know how to apply for a bank loan. Do we really know how to buy for a blank loan? COVID came and everyone thought they were just experts of the, we can do this, we can do that. But we found out not even the banker industry knew exactly what they were doing. It took some time. A lot of people were denied bank loans at a time where they shouldn't have. A lot of people didn't realize what the difference was between their own credit and their business line of credit as well. Some people ended up getting credit, private credit, so now they have to pay back with so much high interest when there is zero interest loans that were giving out for free to entrepreneurs who could prove that they were in desperate need because of the situation that COVID. But as I know, I always like to keep it all honest. COVID loan was not fair by all means as well. But in the sense of bank loans, you definitely need to know how to apply for a bank loan. Maybe you just need to know who your go-to bank loan person, because not all bank loans representatives are equal. Some are not catered towards a small business or entrepreneurs, and some are more driven by their numbers that they build in the community versus the profit that's coming into the bank. So make sure that you find someone that you can basically share all your finances, your ups or downs, because if you're not comfortable in sharing some of your ups and downs of your loan officer, then you guys aren't necessarily going to make a good partnership as well. I can prepare an invoice. Yep, an invoice is very important. A couple of basic things that you need to know. You need to have your tax ID. You have to have your mailing address, who it's going to, what services, what date. You also should have some kind of lingo on payment agreements. Is it paid immediately, 30 days? Do they get a finance charge after that? Is there a late fee? What happens if they get a check and it bounces? What if they're just late in general? These are things you need to put on there, and as well as a thank you for doing business as well. You need to have those numerically or alphabetically in sync with each client, and you should be able to identify your invoices just by the name or the title of the invoices. For instance, for me, it would be example, AHA Workforce 001, AHA Workforce 002, 003, on and on and on. And we would gain more digits as we continue. But I always start with that 3-digit numeral system and grow myself from there from each client as well. I can prepare my financial statement. Financial statements go back to your bookkeeping. Sometimes you don't necessarily think about how can my financial statements go back to my bookkeeping records. Financial statements usually are a little bit of everything. It's basically what is all you're spending throughout the month that you can literally audit yourself easily monthly or 60, 90 days a year. You should have your financial statements available at any time of auditing, meaning the financials would be including sometimes your tax returns, your business in and out revenues, any kind of booking that you have, anything that has to do with dollar signs or finances. You need to make sure that it's all put together and you know where to get to it if you need it as well. I can prepare my own taxes. Well, I cannot prepare my own taxes. I think I prepared my taxes when I was 19 years old and I had one child and I was going to school and had a little part-time job. So at that point, I felt like I didn't have a whole lot to lose. When I'm glad I learned and I did it once and everything went well, but I haven't done it again as well, especially with all the new taxes that are happening, tax cuts, tax laws, what you should not claim. If you got a PP loan, what do you need to claim? If you got unemployment benefits, what you need to put, how much you need to get back. So all of this is best to give it all nicely over to your tax person. Coming from a family who has a tax preparer, an entrepreneur business woman who has her own business, in our family as well. I remember telling me stories of different companies just coming with just boxes of different receipts, unalphabetized, just all over the place. You know, their payroll records kind of just there and thrown in as well. So always think about the person that you're going to hand them off. The more organized you are, the more best bookkeeping practices that you have, your best financial statements will make your tax person's life a little bit easier, and they'll thank you at the very end as well. So review each statement, decide how you will improve in these areas when you answer no. Can you get training or advice to help you improve your behaviors in this area? Of course you can. Make a plan and deal with these topics so you can strengthen your business skills. It doesn't say just stop and give up. It says write them down, build them. If you don't know, let's just say how to do bookkeeping, start working, open up an Excel spreadsheet, try it for 30 days. And then if you don't like it, then go ahead and spend that extra dollars and apply and get a service online. There's so many services now online, from all the way from payroll to management, that you guys would be amazed. I'm sure you guys already know. All right, this is going to be your last assessment for this chapter 1. It's the lifestyle assessment, basically saying yes or no, which entrepreneur habits you have and which areas you need improvement. We all need improvement from time to time. Some of us need improvement more than ever. I hope as an entrepreneur that you strive to be the best at all times. We have to work a little bit 110% more than the rest of our folks, because we don't have corporate behind us. We don't have those high dollar $500,000 companies behind us, you know, making those decisions and handing us checks freely as well. So, hey, here we go. So I am willing to work 60 hours or more a week. Did I work 60 hours more a week? Yes, I worked 60 hours more a week when I was working underneath someone and also as an entrepreneur. In the very beginning, it was really, really long nights. But the thing is that it was 60 hours and it was scattered 60 hours as well. So it wasn't like I had to just sit in front of my computer for those 60 hours and do everything you can. So I guess I would say that yes, that I would definitely think of working 60 hours or more in the very beginning. And if you're not able to work 60 hours, then that just means that you are the one on launching your business on your time and not on anyone else's time. All right, I am willing to work weekends and holidays. Some entrepreneurs think they're going to be entrepreneurs because they don't want to work the weekends and the holidays. Have I had to work the weekends and the holidays? Yes. Once again, you don't have to work all your holidays and you don't ever have to work the weekends. It's really up to you. Now, do I have to work the weekends? No. Would I consider that I still work somewhat on the weekends? Yes, because we do media postings. I'm not the one that likes to schedule. A lot of people say, I'm going to schedule your media posts. But I feel like I want to post how I'm feeling or something that is current that has to do with today. I don't want to pretend I know how I'm going to feel on Thursday and it's only on Monday. So that is the reason why I don't pre-post or use my scheduling. But hey, you can use your schedule any way you want to. If you want to work the weekends, if you don't. If you want to work the holidays, do or don't. It's up to you. I understand that I might have less time and or money to dedicate to my family, church, school, or community until my business is well established. So true, so true. Don't think that just because you've left your job and even have received a huge compensation because let's say they just let you go because of COVID and said, hey, you've done a great job, but we're not going to need you anymore because your position has been eliminated. But here you go. Here's a $50,000 compensation check. $50,000 in a small business when you're starting up really doesn't go that far. $50,000 might take you at least to a couple of months of truly operating. By the time that you, if you're going to open up a business, an office, open up your office, your deposits, your rent, your computers, all your equipment, your tables, your cable service, your Wi-Fi services, your phone services, your deposit for your electricity, for your deposit. Maybe you need to hire someone to have a cushion. Maybe you need to buy products in order to make your own product. So $50,000, don't take all of it. So yes, you guys will lose a lot of Happy Meals and those yummy French fries as well. And those Starbucks might necessarily not come to you as quickly as they will. But know that if you stick in it, it will come. It will come. I am willing to get a professional assistant. We all need assistants as well. Being an entrepreneur, self-employed, I have had professional assistants here and there. Currently, I have no professional assistant that works with me side by side. I do still have good friends that assist me in doing editing when I'm having to write something out or a proposal as well. So they serve me not necessarily as my personal assistants, but there's always can be ways for you to find some help if you need to. You can also find interns as well from the colleges that are looking to internship as well. Good places to look is your community colleges or even your universities. Hook up with those department professors, let them know what you're looking for. A lot of them are actually looking and needing places for their students to work with. And nowadays, a lot of them are doing it online. So it's a good win-win situation. I can additionally get additional training to improve my business. I would sure hope so. I would sure hope so. As an entrepreneur, you would know that you're not starting out thinking you know everything and that you're going to need to find some help to improve your business as well. And maybe it's not going to be to take your idea and revamp it. It's going to be basically to help you continue to strive your business, because what you don't want is a business that just stays at a certain level and doesn't continue to grow. Because you'll get stuck. I could not imagine if when I first started AHA that if I only would have had 1 or 2 services, there's no way we would have been able to keep on going these 8 years if I only put my eggs in 2 baskets as well. So there's always room to improve. And for training, a lot of government training, CBA, a lot of minority training possibilities out there. So always keep your mind open for training. I understand my limitations physically and financial. This is a hard one. I'll be honest with you. Understanding your limitations sometimes can come and hit you in the face. Financial limitations sometimes can push you to the extreme and sometimes will make you not make the best decisions long term. It's okay. You need to dust yourself off. We're not experts in what we're doing. We are only those that have a dream and passion and are seeking guidance from others in the area of expertise along, bringing our ideas and passions along for the ride. So altogether, being an entrepreneur, you have to have the mindset of working together as a family and a group and seek those that are highly professional surround you in order for you to have a win-win situation. I do not get sick very often. Why is this question important? Well, because sometimes if you're sick and you're the main person, then what happens? Oh, I can't go to work because my head is hurting, or I can't go to work because I just don't feel well. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of illnesses nowadays that really disable them on a daily basis. Are they business owners? Yes, you best believe there's a lot of business owners that have really bad illnesses, diseases out there, but they're not the face of their brand. They know better. They've seeked those professional people that they know that is going to do the job for them. That way they don't have to be stressed on making sure that they don't have to accommodate their business because of their sickness as well. I do not get stressed very easily. Woo, stress, stress, stress. There's no way I would be a good teacher or a mentor if I didn't tell you that stress is definitely there. There can be stress one day just because your cable doesn't get turned on when it's supposed to when you're opening doors. Or better yet, how about your sign is supposed to be out in your building and you're about to open your door for a grand opening and there's no sign and they call you and tell you they'll be there in 15 minutes. Or how about yet that you're waiting for your A1 superstar contractor to come through and they're nowhere to be found? Or better yet, where you're waiting for a payment that should be there and you're having people waiting for you to payroll and it's just not going to make it in on time. So, these are just true, honest things that you have to know, that it is very stressful. It's not an easy, breezy position to be an entrepreneur. If someone said it was not full of stress, I would definitely call them a bluff, but it's your stress and you can manage your stress. You should know when to cut off your stress. You should be able to have enough experience as you move forward to eliminate those stress. So what becomes big stresses will then come down to minimal stresses, and you'll be able to rock and roll. And when you're going through your emotions, you'll see them and know that you can't go there because of the stress that comes from making those decisions as well. My spouse's income can support my family without income from my business for 1 year. So that a lot of us don't have that support. That's why a lot of us look for that financial blanket as well. You don't have to have any money to start a business plan. You don't have to have any money to come up with your product unless you're actually going to create a product that you're shipping out as well. But if you already have your idea, you don't have to have the money to get yourself online. You don't have to have enough money. You don't have to have money to create an email. So just because you don't have enough money is not a reason why you can't stick your foot forward and start your own dream and live your own dreams and passions out there. Let's see. I have reliable and flexible childcare. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, should you have reliable childcare? Yes, I think so. I think that even at the best moms ever, there's going to be times where you need to leave your little ones behind. Or better yet, now it's online. So do you have somewhere for your child to be while you're on your Zoom meeting for 30 minutes with that client? We all see Zoom meetings that have little kids' heads that come in. I'm guilty. I have a granddaughter that will come once in a week or so, especially when she's off school, and share what she's doing, just because she's nosy, wants to see everyone on screen. Or better yet, I actually had a dog who was barking in the background a month ago, and I was talking to a client, and because I was used to zoning him out, I thought that the client couldn't hear them. Guess what? He actually said, Iliana, would you mind putting your dog out? Because I can't concentrate with them barking. Wow, right? So we all learn and what we're supposed to do and we're not supposed to do on this online etiquette on our virtual world. So we're not perfect. We just have to continue to keep learning. My family will support me emotionally and financially during the venture. That would be awesome in the real world if we all had family that said, go out there and do it. Go out there and quit your job, or go out there and think that you can go make some money. And how are you going to do that? And what do you think you're going to conquer in the community? Who are you to think that you're going to make a difference in the world, right? So in the real world, do you get the love and support? I would say most of the time you get the, hey, you can do it, good job. But most of the time as entrepreneurs, it can get a little bit lonely out there. And so you always have to make sure that you're up for the lonely times, the happy times, and everything that comes in between as well. So I'm here to support you. And all you need to do is just connect with me and I'll be there to assist you any way that I can. So you never have to feel like you're alone again. I can lower my standards of living until the business is well established. We talked about that. Maybe no more Starbucks. Maybe no more fancy Thai food every day. Maybe you can't step back at Sonic's and get those big 44 routes that's going to last you all day. Maybe you have to think about really packing your lunch. Or maybe you have to think about, oh, sorry, hub, I don't think we're going to be able to go on that vacation this year. Or I think we might have to downsize. So all of these are really true statements that you have to think about, just depending on how extreme and how well planned out. But you always have to remember that business plan is going to be key, and it is going to tell you what you need to do. I can lower my standards of living. We talked about that. I am prepared to lose my savings. Woo-wee. That's hard to say, especially those that are coming off those very well monthly payments or weekly payments from those high corporate jobs where they were paying for your travel cost, your mileage, your food, anything possible. You knew all you had to do was submit it. Well, guess what? You don't have all that now. Now what you're going to have is pretty savings that you've been holding on for a time like this. So you definitely have to know and be prepared that if this is your time, that you're going to have to go into some savings. And maybe if you don't have some savings, maybe you have someone that's believing in you and giving you some money upfront. Before you accept that, please make sure that you know that you're in this for the long run as well. I can keep my full-time job and run my business on the side if I must. A lot of us do that. I myself did that. I had my business before I stepped away from my corporate administrator job that I had as well. And it wasn't easy. I stayed up really long nights developing our curriculum, our logo, our name. And then have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and be at work until 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening and come home and do the cooking and the cleaning and all that good stuff. So is it doable? Yes. If you have a dream and a passion, can it be done? Yes, it can. And the last one is, can I prepare my own taxes? Once again, can I prepare my own taxes? I think that's kind of a setup question. I think by now we should all say, no, we cannot prepare your own taxes. But what you can do to help your tax person is create those awesome spreadsheets that we talked about in order to make our tax person a little bit happier and not have to stress out and ask you, what the heck is this receipt for? Who did you take out to go eat and spend $99.99 on? We need a little bit more information. So, all right. So let's just review a little bit on what we talked about today. We did step 1, assessing your business potential. We learned a little bit about our personality assessments. Am I confident? Am I reasonable? And do I meet project deadlines? Then we talked about skill assessment. I have fired employees. I know who to apply for a bank loan. Do I have an email? And then we jumped into the lifestyle assessments. Am I willing to work on the weekend and holidays? I do not get stressed very easily? Do I have flexible childcare? So overall, all of this is for you. I hope that you guys have enjoyed me talking and reading these questions out to you. I hope that you guys can benefit from me taking some time to go through this book as well. I will attempt to have a reading session every week until we are done with this book. So the good thing is that they're recorded. So if you need to go back, just hit that record button as well. I will title this chapter 1. And I hope and look forward to you guys again next week. Next week we'll be defining your business ideas. And hopefully you guys will have some questions for me that I might be able to address as well. And if at any time, if you guys are interested on having a one-on-one with me or any kind of group education, you know where to hit me up at www.aha.workforce.com. That's www.ahaworkforce.com. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. All right, you guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys giving me your time to sit back and listen to me. My mission and passion is educating and sharing. So this one goes out to all my entrepreneurs out there who might not think they need it, or those entrepreneurs who are getting barely started. We all are on the same page. We all work hard. We all believe in our dreams. So let's start sharing with one another so we can become all great and make a difference in this world. All right, you guys. Bye. See you next week.